Hey there, fellow adult collectors. Welcome back. David Eon and the stunning Miss Lady Pop Hunter here with another Fading Nostalgia discussion. Fading Nostalgia. Whatever happened to Christmas? And since it is the holiday season, we have actually been asked to do a discussion on the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to Christmas? Because it just does not feel the same anymore from what we knew or experienced in childhood as we get older and we see things becoming different all the time. And change isn't always necessarily a good thing. Change can be a very bad thing at times
Mm-hmm.
or a very awkward thing. And I think that's why old folks are grumpy, is because they've seen so many changes and they don't always appreciate it. There are things that are gone that they knew used to be a certain way that aren't that way anymore. And that's frustrating. And it's frustrating for us too, even from the perspective of nostalgia, to look back and see how things were and compare them to now and just say to yourself, wow, that is just not the same, or that's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Christmas decorations or
Yeah.
decorating the house for Christmas is really kind of going away. When I was a kid, I grew up in the city. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in the Boston area. It's mostly apartment buildings, but when you went into a suburban neighborhood where there were a lot of houses, every house was decorated.
Mm-hmm.
They all did it. Now, there are some neighborhoods where a lot of the people will decorate, but mostly it's not being done. Onesie twosies
Mm-hmm.
up and down a block or a street, and often it's those tacky inflatables now because I guess it's just easier, but it's just not the same to have like a big blowy inflatable if it's working and the fan hasn't stopped and it's just like dead on your lawn, just laid out in the snow all deflated like somebody shot it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the decorations are fading away.
Yeah, I know. We live in a subdivision, and you probably could count on one hand the amount of houses that have decorations up. And it was a thing when I was a kid. We used to drive around and look at the
Yeah.
decorations, and that was a thing. And they used to have a show of that came on during December of holiday decorations where they go around the United States, I guess, and take pictures of people's houses. And people went all out, and they would talk about
Oh,
how,
they'd have contests. Even neighborhoods would have
yeah,
contests.
and they would talk about how they started decorating back in June. I mean, because it was such a big deal,
Yeah.
and you just don't see that anymore. And it's like, and it kind of makes it feel like it's not the holiday time
Mm-hmm.
because you're used to, okay, when this season comes up, you see these things, you kind of put things together, but you don't
Even
have that anymore.
except for the stores, I mean, because the
Yeah.
stores will force that on you early with their Christmas displays, but they're trying to sell product. They don't really care about the holiday at
But
all.
even they don't decorate
Yeah, they
anymore.
don't decorate like they used to.
No.
Even the stores. Yeah, they
Mm-mm.
put the displays up, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Or when neighborhoods, when the city would do it,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd put something on every lamppost
Yeah.
and attach it to the lamp so that
Mm-hmm.
it would light up. Things like that. I don't remember when they stopped doing that in Boston because
I
it
don't
used to
know.
be a big thing. They would wrap all the light poles
Yeah.
and then put a line across to the light pole across the street and string lights and put up wreaths and big candles that would be sticking out. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff that they used to do. And that was in the Allston Brighton area growing up around Boston. And when I left Boston, they weren't doing that anymore. Unless they started again, which I doubt.
Yeah.
Or they'd put a decorated tree out on like driving islands, between the flow of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
They had like this post they would put and stick a tree in it, and they'd string it up and light it up in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of different town squares. I don't know if they're still doing that anymore. I'm not a big fan of chopping down trees,
Yeah.
you know, but the effort's not there.
I always thought that was a waste, and the
Yeah.
White House does it, and Rockefeller Center, and they fly around the country and they look for the biggest tree, and they cut it down, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're at the White House, that's a fixed location. You could plant a tree,
You
and
could uproot a full grown one
yeah,
and transport it and plant it
I
there.
don't know how easy that would be to
Still,
uproot, but I mean, they're all about conservation and global warming and climate
yeah.
change. Why not plant a tree and just,
No,
you know,
no, we're not doing
show
that.
the country, oh, look at our tree, we planted it, and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and decorate it every year instead of cutting down a live tree that's been there for hundreds of years. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
So we'll move on.
That's all right. But there's also the commercialization of it, which even Charles Schultz was aware of, because if you've all probably seen the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I think it first aired in 1965. Almost did not air because the network said that the pace of the special was too slow. They wanted something faster, and Schultz was like, "No, this is perfect." He was right, because the pace, I think, it sets a mood that even a child can obviously can appreciate. But in that, one of the main themes of that Christmas special was the over commercialization. Even then, in 1965, they were making an emphasis on that, especially with Snoopy's Doghouse, winning best decorated house, and they had the big ribbon or whatever it was that was on the doghouse, and Charlie Brown's like, "Oh, good grief, you got to be kidding me!" This one, the over commercialization was emphasized heavily in that, and so it's been an ongoing thing. But I think it's reached its saturation point now, where what is the Christmas holiday? Oh, is it about family? Is it about friends and fellowship, or is it about buying and distributing presents? Moving money around is more important than anything else in the holiday. And you see a lot of that just in the attitudes of people when they receive a gift.
Yeah.
What matters more to you? And I think I remember seeing a study. I forget who did it. It was 60 Minutes or 2020 or something, some years ago, probably 20 years ago maybe. They were interviewing people and asked them about it and what means more to you, and ultimately what they expressed was that what meant more to them was how expensive the gift was.
Yeah.
Does it even matter what it is? Not necessarily, as long as it is expensive, even if it's something you're never going to freaking use. Oh, they spent a lot on it, so that must mean something.
Yeah.
That's selfishness. That's selfishness. I'd rather get nothing, than get something that's expensive that I have no use for. But people put an emphasis on that. Oh, what did this cost? How much is this?
Yeah.
That's more important to a lot of people, and that makes you almost not want to bother.
Yeah, I mean, plus the people on, you asked them a few months later, a few weeks later, what did so and so get you for Christmas? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or what did
They
you
don't
get
even know.
last year? Uh, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's in all of the commercials. It's like, there's this one commercial going on now
Yeah.
about these two little kids fighting over a room. And then I
Oh,
guess it's
yeah.
Christmas Day, and they run into the room. Mommy, where are our presents?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Not,
Everything
hey,
is
Merry
about
Christmas,
presents.
Mom. Are you getting up? Can I make breakfast for you?
Yeah, and the commercials before during
Yeah.
Christmas, they didn't. I mean, yeah, it's all about selling, yeah, but
Yeah.
they didn't make the commercial seem like it was about selling. They made it feel like you were talking about family and getting together and spending time together. Now, 100%, they don't.
What's it worth?
Yeah, they don't even try to hide the fact that you're going to buy this for Christmas for your loved one or whoever.
Look at the commercial compilations that we have up on the channel, because I do commercial compilations. A lot of the viewers like those, and I've got two big ones for Christmas. One's like an hour, one's like an hour and a half long. And look at those commercials. The first one is 70s and 80s mixed, and the second one is all 80s. the famous Ronald McDonald one, ice skating. There's no mention of food in that commercial at all. It's just kids playing in an ice skating. The one kid's scared. Ronald comes out and picks him up and brings him into it. Or the famous one with the Hershey's Kisses, ringing the bells. They pop up and down and ring bells. Hershey's Kisses aren't even mentioned. You know, you watch those and compare them to modern commercials, and it's like a different planet. It really is. Or my favorite. There's another one that I liked. It was I want to say it's one of the Pillsbury ones, and you got Grandpa, and he's in a wheelchair. Or no, he's in a wheelchair, or he's in some kind of a chair, and he's dragging himself, and she's like, "Don't touch that stuff, it's not ready." And he's dragging himself, and the kids are laughing, and because he wants to like swipe a cookie or something early, not even talking about the product. You know, there's a very family feel to it. About this is what we're focusing on. Yeah, sure, we're still selling you something, but here's what we're going to present it in a way that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Not anymore.
It's all about them dollars.
And that's a shame. A big part of it also is the obligation. You know, I'm big on avoiding a false sense of obligation, and I think that crushes a lot of people, where they feel like, I have to do this, and the Christmas holiday can make you feel that way. I have to buy presents for these people. I have to come to the Christmas party. I have to do this. I have to do that. No, you don't. No,
Well,
you
I mean,
don't.
they don't even put on Christmas cartoons and specials anymore. Because you
Yeah,
remember
specials
when,
are gone
when we
away.
were young, they would put on Halloween special, Thanksgiving special, Christmas specials. You had cartoons. Every sitcom had their Christmas special.
Episode, yeah.
Well, they still got those stupid, cheesy movies, made for TV Christmas movies.
Hallmark Channel.
Hallmark
Something
and
like that, yeah.
Lifetime Channel. You know, you have those, but you don't. Yeah, you still have those, but they don't have the cartoons anymore and all of the Well, we don't know about the modern sitcoms because we don't watch those.
Yeah,
but,
we don't watch modern shows, really.
you know, that was a big thing too. You sat around, you waited for the holiday specials to come on, and you would watch them, even though you've watched them 100 times. They only came on once a year, so
Yeah.
you look forward to it. And now you don't have that. They don't replay Charlie Brown and
You could find it
Garfield.
if you dig for it.
Yeah, but it came on TV.
It came on, and now you got activist groups trying to ban all of that stuff. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't show Rudolph. You can't show Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
You can't show, oh, Charlie Brown's bullied, so you can't show it. Yeah, he is bullied, but he perseveres, and that's the point. That's the point. He always came back. You can't show this and that because of whatever foolish reason, because somebody got their feelings hurt once. But those specials, some of them are gold. Like for Halloween, we put up the Fat Albert Halloween special. That's a really good special. It's interesting, it's fun, it's funny. Hasn't been aired since like 1984, I think it was. 77 to 84, and then never seen again. And it was put on disc in the early 2000s, and I happen to have one, and so I put it up on Halloween for the viewers. Got in trouble for it, but that's okay, you know, because it was copyrighted. The probably the theme song
Probably.
was copyrighted, but and so what? And people saw that and they were like, "Wow, thanks for that. I haven't seen this since God knows when," because they just don't put that stuff on anymore. They try to take it away from you.
And now you don't have they're trying to bring back the Christmas catalogs. Amazon,
Yeah, that's right.
Target
We didn't
did
see
it
that
this
for
year.
a long time.
Yeah, and Walmart did one.
Christmas wish book, like for kids,
Yeah,
with all the toys in it.
and stuff. And that was a big part of our childhood in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know if when they stopped the Sears wish book.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I guess it went through the 90s. I don't remember.
I remember it was in the 90s that Cabela's stopped their catalog that they used to mail to people. So it might have been around that time. But those Christmas wish lists and wish books and the holiday extravaganza book, the Sears or Montgomery Ward or wherever you got it from, and it was like that freaking big. It was like a phone book full of
It
stuff.
was big.
Those were so fun. Even the Sunday flyers where they would have the toy. Oh, what's available in toys from Kmart or KB Toy Store or something like that. That was cool. And does a kid flip through those anymore? If they even get them?
I don't know.
Do they wait for the Sunday paper? Does anyone get a Sunday paper?
Well, they quit.
Let alone-
I think they quit with the Sunday paper. Some places have.
Because those
it's all
circulars
digital-
in the Sunday
digital.
paper were a big deal back in the day. Mm-hmm. And looking at the toys, even regular months, never mind holidays.
Yeah.
And you'd flip through and you'd circle stuff or memorize stuff and Caldors has this and that. Weren't gonna get it.
I know.
But it was nice to fantasize.
But do kids even write down their Christmas lists? Because we used to write it down.
I'm sure they got a big long selfish list full of stuff that nobody can afford.
iPhones and video games
Need a
systems.
$1,200 iPhone and a whatever. And some people are real selfish with those lists. I mean, it was fun to make lists, but I think that's more of something that should be for kids. You know, thinking back, I knew these two women, and they made Christmas lists, and I'm talking about the early 2000s. All right, early to mid 2000s. Is there a mid 2000s? I don't think we've got there yet. Well, I say mid 2000s. I'm thinking like 2010ish, and they would make this laundry list and distribute it to everybody. I mean, it was like 3-4 pages of like typed out, right?
Ooh.
Oh, this is acceptable gifts, and
Wow.
distribute it to everyone, including their nieces and nephews. And I'm like, you're gonna give like a 10-year-old a 4-page Christmas gift, and you're like 40. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't expect a gift from a kid. You know, to me that doesn't feel right. I would
mean, if
give
it's your kid
if
and
it's
they
your own
give
kid
you
and they give you something, but it's no expectation.
Yeah.
I never put that on my kids that I'm your dad, you have to buy me a present. I never
Yeah.
did anything like that. I would give them something, but I didn't expect anything from them to this day. I don't really expect them to produce something because I'm their parent. You know what I mean? And I think it's childish for an adult to make a list for a kid. I think that's pushing it. I can understand having a list if people are going to get you presents, because the whole idea of it's the thought that counts doesn't quite wash.
No.
It
ain't
does
no-
count. If people give you something that doesn't fit your personality at all, tell me that you've never received a gift and you're like, thanks, and then you turn around and you're like, what the hell are they thinking? What is this? What am I going to do with this? You know, and that ends up at Goodwill. How many wrapped things do you see at Goodwill after the
All
holiday?
those foot baths.
Oh yeah, the foot baths, or the whirlpool for the tub. They have that thing you turn your tub into a jacuzzi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's got that thing that you hang over the side of the bathtub. They sell those at like Walgreens or something.
Yeah.
Or-
Because people get that last minute thing, I forgot to get on Edna something.
That's why there's gift cards.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'd rather get a gift card. At least you could get what you want.
Something. You can try to figure it out. Oh my God. But people can be pretty thoughtless when it's the last minute and they don't know what to do. They did that on Family Ties. Alex Keaton wasn't going to get anybody a gift, and then he runs around at the last minute and he says, I'm sorry, the only place I could find open was like I think it was a drugstore or a gas station or something. Somebody probably remembers better than I do. And he had like mouthwash and all kinds of weird stuff in there that whatever he could scramble and buy. It's the thought that counts. No. Or Homer Simpson with Marge's birthday. And it's a birthday, not Christmas, but it's another great example. He gives her a gift and she unwraps it and it's a bowling ball. And then she was like, I don't bowl. It's the thought that counts. Homer, your name is on it. I might be paraphrasing that a little bit, but you see
Yeah,
the point.
probably.
And she was like, you know what? I'm going to go and take up bowling and keep this ball just because you did that. But March, because he really wanted the ball for himself.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you can give a thoughtless gift. Sometimes I think it'd be better to give nothing. And I've seen people do that. It's like, hey, don't get me anything for Christmas. But mostly I've heard people do that because they don't want to feel obligated to reciprocate. And some people can't afford to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, again, there's a lot of emphasis on how much did this cost? How much did this cost? As opposed to, oh, this is something I could use, or oh, that was a nice thought.
Yeah.
And some people, it's hard around the holidays. And you wonder why people get depressed. You wonder why people get so depressed. You know what, another thing that's gone away
What?
is greeting cards.
Yeah, people don't give greeting. I used to like giving greeting cards. I would
Yeah.
go out and buy greeting cards, these nice elaborate ones, because I like giving out greeting cards. But people don't. I keep my greeting cards. I do. I still have
That's like
greeting
an old
cards.
folk thing. They have like a shoebox with like 100
And I do. I
Christmas
have
cards in it.
I have a box with greeting cards, probably 20
It's okay.
years old. But I like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I like it. And I realized, it took me a while to realize other people don't like it. Because I hated seeing when people threw away the card I gave them.
Yeah.
And that just hurt my feelings. Because
Seinfeld's girlfriend didn't like it either. That happened on an episode of Seinfeld, didn't it?
I
You
don't
threw
know.
my card. Is that my card in the trash? That sounds familiar.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's gone away. Greeting cards have gone away. You can't even really go to Hallmark anymore.
The electronic age has robbed us of that.
Because now they got electronic greeting cards. Now, that
Yeah.
was a big thing. They had a ton of websites where you could
Yeah,
send...
that's right. In the 90s?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
send electronic greeting cards.
Yeah.
And they were free. So that kind of took away from like Hallmark, and even
True.
Walmart had a huge section of greeting cards and American Greetings and those types of stores. They don't really... I mean, you still have Hallmark.
Yeah,
but
Hallmark store, but it's not...
like it was.
It's like a third of it is cards now. Mm-hmm. And the rest of it's all merchandising.
Yeah, toys and what's that
Porcelain figures.
Yeah.
Things like
thing?
that.
Precious Moments and stuff like
Precious
that.
Moments are expensive new.
Yeah.
Aftermarket.
It's
They're
cheap.
cheap.
And Snow
Snow
Babies.
Babies, that's right.
Yeah.
But, and the Peanuts.
Yeah, they got a lot of peanuts at home.
I got a soft spot for the Peanuts, so.
Yeah.
But, people used to like run a string across the room and hang all the cards on it because they got so many, or they pin them on the wall, and they get tons of that, and it meant something back in the day.
I got the cards and notes that
Yeah,
the viewer sends
when
on
people
the door.
when people send us, like, sometimes people send a gift to the P.O. box. We take that letter or that card and we actually pin it up.
Yeah, because I like that kind of stuff, and it's cheesy, and David's always rolling his eyes. But
It's all right if it makes
that's
you happy.
my thing, because I
Sure.
like to keep them.
Yeah,
So I display them as part of the room. So,
Christmas trees are kind of fading too. You see
Yeah.
less and less of that. People don't want to be bothered with it.
well, it was
Or
a
they-
section in the store. It was a big section, and then you had all those Christmas tree places where you go and you get a real tree. They were everywhere. Now
Yeah.
it's like onesie twosies here and there.
Yeah, maybe Walmart has some out front, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But that's gone away. I think mostly people don't want to be bothered with it. It's kind of tedious.
Well,
And-
the whole decoration, you got to pull the decorations out, you put it up, then you got to take it down, and then you don't want to take it down, so it's up until March and April because you don't want to take it down.
And some counties have made getting rid of that tree hard.
Yeah.
Have made disposing of the tree difficult. It
Yeah.
depends on where you live. So there's that too. And it's gotten a lot cheaper to get an artificial tree. So
And those
if you have,
artificial trees are nice sometimes.
yeah, and they've gotten very cheap. Some of you guys don't realize we watched, what was it, an 80s Price is Right? Mm-hmm. And they had an artificial tree. It was a 6-foot tree, professionally done artificial tree. Retail value on it was $1,200. because once upon a time they were very difficult to make and they were expensive. Nobody wanted that.
Yeah.
But now it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's real cheap, or you can even especially if you get it after the holiday and you just put it up and you just use it every year. I used to use an artificial tree for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was easier. Let them decorate it. They had fun with that. You know, I was cool with it. But it's that's something you're seeing less and less of. Although I don't mind that so much because again, it seems to be kind of a waste to kill a tree so that you can watch it slowly die in your living room for a month.
I mean, if you get a fake tree, I guess that's cool. Because
Yeah.
then at least you could keep it for the next year and just put the stuff on it every year, I guess. I don't know.
The illusion of Santa is fading. Although I don't really have a problem with that. I don't mind the whole Santa concept as long as I think the kids should know there is no real Santa who's going to sneak in your house and hide presents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I did that with my kids also. Because it's like, yeah, you know, we can go do photos with Santa or whatever. And it's like, is Santa real? It's like, no, it's just pretend. Dad does this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if there's presents, it's from Dad or it's from somebody else, and their name will be on it. I don't make them think that Santa. Oh, if you're a good boy or girl,
Yeah.
that Santa will come into the house, and no, none of that. But if they wanted to take a picture with Santa, that's cool. Or if they wanted to, you know, if they want to put up the artificial tree and we'll put some presents under it, that's cool. But the whole concept of there actually being a real Santa Claus, I was never big on that. I don't like tricking the kids in that respect, so to speak. Some people, I don't know if anybody even still does that tradition. I know mall Santas are still out there,
Yeah.
and I think that parents bringing kids to the mall Santa is more for their own nostalgia than it is for the child. And
I don't know if kids even care about that stuff.
who knows?
You know,
I wonder
they
how many
might.
times Santa gets asked for an iPhone now.
Probably that's all he gets. Because they don't really ask for toys
The
anymore.
PlayStation 12 and Xbox 45 and iPhone 93.
Yeah.
That's what I want for Christmas. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know.
I mean, there's probably more to unpack. But
Yeah, but Christmas is fading away, and the only thing that's keeping it alive, I believe, is retailers, because
yeah,
that's one of the
it's
biggest,
huge for them.
yeah, biggest money makers. So they're not gonna let it die out totally. It might die out in spirit.
Yeah. Oh, it's been dead in spirit.
Yeah, in
You know.
spirit, it'll die, and probably the concept of decorating and family get together and Santa Claus and all of that stuff might die out, but the buying aspect is going to stay.
Yeah, they don't want to let go of that.
No,
Because
no.
any retailer will tell you that, or most of them will tell you that their last 2 months of the year, November and December, they make more profit than the other 10 months.
Yeah.
It's that big.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the last three, because you tie in Halloween. If they do Halloween merchandising or sell Halloween candy, then the last 3 months of the year is like 50% or more of their profit.
Yeah, and then
in
they
many
pick
cases.
back up at Valentine.
Yeah, for a brief time.
Yeah, just for that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So they can't let that die.
No.
But like I said, I believe the spirit is gone. Mm-hmm. It's totally gone.
And there's the whole argument about it being a pagan holiday.
No, we're
it
not going to go
depends.
down that
Yeah,
road.
it's, and you know, that's a, you know, take it or leave it, because basically every holiday can be linked that way, pretty much. So, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Make up new ones, I guess. Make your own holiday.
Yeah, you can make it mean something to you,
Yeah.
I guess, and take all of the other aspects
Do
out
it
of
without
it.
do it without doing it.
What?
Do it without doing it.
What does that mean?
Like how we do around Christmas time, because we don't really do Christmas, but we do something else. Make your own traditions.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically.
We don't do all that.
Yeah, we're not all deep in the Christmas holiday like
But
that.
he
But
always like to try to drag it in there.
how?
You try to inject.
You don't want a present?
No.
Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, you say that now. You say that now. Watch, she doesn't get a present. Anyways, thoughts? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. Check out some of our other videos for more discussions, for vintage commercials, for toy unboxings, showcases, all sorts of things that we do on this channel for the purpose of nostalgia and adult pop culture. So if that's it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.